Ladies and digipeeps, I am just ecstatic. The Book of Boba Fett finale it blew me away. It was absolutely perfect and I cannot speak highly enough of it, truly. The overall story was wrapped up nicely and I can tell you that it is not the last time I am going to watch it this week. Now, I know it is typical of me to come out and put a video review of the latest episodes as quickly as I can, but this was the finale. I wanted to do my research and make sure this review was done to the best of my ability. I am looking forward to getting this one started, so here we go with episode 7 entitled In the Name of Honor. Starting out in the fallout of the last episode's explosion in Garsa's paradise, and the place is just a burnt out shadow of its former self. A clear message of what the Pike Syndicate are willing to do in order to secure their spice trade through Tatooine. I will admit, when Boba made it clear that he was going to shut the whole operation down, and then having Fennec argue that there is money to be made in spice, I got a little worried. A double cross from this woman would not have overly surprised me, but thankfully Boba seemed to shut down any argument for keeping such a dangerous substance within his city on behalf of the people. He was calm and level-headed about the situation and really thinking like a leader. Battle plans are being drawn and the crime lord is looking to draw his forces back to the castle to hold a more secure position. His soldiers, however, the mods, protest and state that they are going to stay and fight with the people instead of held up in some castle. Again, a somewhat emotional response to the coming battle, but one Boba agrees with as he knows who he is fighting for instead of what. A city is nothing more than just streets and buildings, but the people need a champion, a role Boba is more than willing to fill here. Then, one of my favourite scenes from this episode. An X-Wing starfighter is seen coming into the Mos Eisley spaceport. Pelimoto was trying to hide all the illegal and somewhat questionable materials she had lying around, but then the best space pilot in the entire galaxy shows his face, Grogu. The little man has chosen the Mandalorian, and I, for one, after I broke down with a cuteness overload of imagining him in an X-Wing helmet while he was flying, could not be happy with his decision. If you are a fan of my reviews, then you will know last week I heavily critiqued the Jedi and made it clear that they failed. To see one of the handful of Force users left in the galaxy and a former member of the Republic-era Jedi Order reject the centuries-old teachings for attachments was a correct move in my opinion. We are going to have to wait for a reunion with the Mandalorian, however, as we hold our breaths and wait for the first attack. This comes in the form of Cad Bane coming in with terms for a negotiation. This man just seems to constantly be staring at the ground, so when he enters a room and someone addresses him, he can slowly peer up from his hat and shoot a dramatic gaze at his target. Negotiations fall short as he reveals that the Tusken family Boba was a part of were killed by the Pikes and not the Speeder Gang like he had thought previously. I literally held my breath in anticipation for the first shot then. One Fennec stepped in and spoke him down from. A wise move, but again, the mention of Boba becoming soft in his old age. I don't know if that is going to go over well with the fans. The idea of Boba becoming soft in this show has really had some negativity behind it. It is after that confrontation that the first strike is taken. Not by Cad or by the Pikes, but the actual citizens. The crime lords of Tatooine betrayed their word to remain neutral and have lined with the Pike Syndicate. Boba Fett, Black Chrysanthemum and the mods were quickly overrun without the help of Freetown. People Mando was sure were coming to help until he heard that Cad Bane shot down their sheriff, Cobb Vanth, in the street. A blow to morale, I am sure, but this is where the episode picked up. Boba had some understanding the move the crime lords had taken and even realised that the attack was a wise and obvious one. The poor Gamorreans being the first to lose their lives, which was actually sad to see. Boba gets ready to fight for his city, alongside Mando, who refuses to break his word and fight alongside Boba until the bitter end. This is a way, despite it being bantha fodder in Boba Fett's words. The pair pull out their weapons and then pull out all the stops. They fly in with their jetpacks, firing upon anything that moves. A few shots are taken on them, but they persist in this losing battle as the Pikes keep on coming. Then a shot from off-screen and the members of Freetown come in for the save. The group clearly want the same things Boba does, a better life for the citizens of Tatooine. So the group, along with the massive beast mode of Black Chrysanthemum and the mods, who were saved earlier by Fennec Shand, begin to push the Pikes back. Black Chrysanthemum's showing here was very impressive. He tore through the Pikes and took at least several shots before dropping to one knee. Wookiees are just such an awesome species in the Star Wars universe. It was great to see a win for Boba and his people, but the victory was short-lived. In came these massive destroyer-like droids that were called Scorponeks. Massive four-legged spider-like creatures with two cannons either side of them backed up by ray shields. A dirty trick we haven't seen since the Droidicas. These things brought destruction down upon the group. Blasters were ineffective. Black Chrysanthemum tried to use brute force to get to one and was kicked into a brick wall for his troubles. Boba launched his missile directly at a pair of them, which did nothing. Mando even brought out the Darksaber, which did not even make a scratch. They were making short work of the people of Tatooine. Even in their retreat, this episode just broke me on so many levels. Mando is getting one of the droids to follow him, and then runs into Pelimoto. He hitches a ride on her cart, being pulled by a droid, and she has a small surprise for our favourite chrome-plated bounty hunter. It is, of course, Grogu, who jumps into his arm for a hug. That was about when my heart broke into a million pieces. Daddy is reunited with his son. I think I actually shed a tear, no lie. So great to see them back together. So this running could only last so long, all in the hopes that Boba would call in his reinforcements. Then in comes my favourite moment of the whole episode. I got Jurassic Park vibes here when the T-Rex first made his appearance on screen. In comes Boba riding on top his Rancor. This beast tore through the Pike's best shot with relative ease. The droids did get some shots in, and I honestly was worried we were going to lose Boba's pet here. For a finale, I was kind of surprised we did not have a few more major deaths, to be honest. I truly thought we were going to lose Black Chrysanthemum at one stage. I am glad we didn't, but it was a feeling just gripping my heart, ready to crush it. Now, with the droids dealt with, Cad Bane scares off the Rancor and is face to face with Boba. This was a face-off many were waiting for. Some callbacks to the past. The pair are ready to just see who has the quickest draw, and unfortunately it seems to be Cad. He has Boba on the ropes and is about to take his final shot, but then is struck down by Boba's personal Tusken weapon. I absolutely love this, having him not be the fastest shooter, but the better warrior in the end. A fair showing for the place that Boba Fett has come from the bounty hunter to respected warrior of Tatooine. A character arc I feel this show really dived into well. Happy days. The Pikes are dealt with and run out of the city. The droids have been destroyed and most of the citizens are still alive. There is just one small issue of a raging Rancor on the loose. Stupidly, the people begin to shoot upon him, but Mando tries to defuse the situation by getting him under control. A feat he cannot pull off, and just as he is about to become the Rancor's next meal, Grogu comes in for the save and does the magic hand thing. He calms the beast down and the pair settle in for a snooze, which was oddly adorable watching him pet the big boy, then fall asleep next to him. This was great, but one question I had during all this was where was Fennec Shand? A question answered as the Pikes' leader, the mayor of Tatooine, and the cowardly bunch of crime lords who betrayed Boba are all held up in their own building. one that Fennec got to and basically ninja assassinated each and every one of them. A fitting end and satisfying conclusion to those dastardly characters. So that's that. Boba is a respected leader of the citizens of Tatooine and has a number of people ready to fight and die by his side in this new chapter of his life. One that is built on loyalty and respect. Truly a great showing. We get a few small teasers of Mando flying out with Grogu in his own little cockpit with the metal bore from the shifter he used to steal from the Razor Crest. Also, an interesting one of Cobb Vanth using the Bacta tank, which thankfully shows us he is not dead. And one of the modders ready to work on him. Could the Book of Cobb Vanth be next? I would definitely watch that. Okay, so onto my thoughts and opinions I have of this episode and a little on this series as a whole. The Book of Boba Fett was a thrill ride at the best of times, showing some great action and some great character development, all coming full circle in the end. The characters who came into this show were unexpected, but definitely welcome, and it was awesome to see the likes of Black Chrysanthemum and Cad Bane in live action, and the return of some fan favourites such as Fennec Shand, Cobb Vanth, and of course, The Mandalorian. Also, props to the CGI department who made Luke Skywalker look even more better and even more polished than he did in the Season 2 finale of The Mandalorian. Honestly, the only thing better in my opinion was if they would have got Sebastian Stan to come into the role. Now, at its worst, the show had some questionable scenes, some characters that took us out of the overall viewing experience, a lackluster chase scene with some very colourful vehicles, and overall not exactly what the public were expecting when it came to the galaxy's favourite bounty hunter. This finale, in my humble opinion, was a great ending. Stories were paid off, relationships formed from past encounters were paid off. Seeing Grogu reunite with Mando is a scene I will watch on repeat for the next week or so, and I think we have seen Boba move into a better place than just a bounty hunter looking for his next target. He is now a respected warrior with an entire city behind him. This series overall was a great show. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I enjoyed what they did with the pieces of this huge puzzle. I keep things in mind like Tamora Morrison is 61 years of age, and I was happy to see him return as Boba in this series, instead of them finding someone else to just throw a helmet on and keep quiet for the majority of his scenes. The actor did mention in a recent interview that he would have liked to remain silent for a few of those said scenes, have Fennec do most of the talking for him, and leave him shrouded in mystery. A request I feel some of the writers should have listened to. However, again, I enjoyed what we got and would definitely love to see a season 2. And that's one season finale done. I can't believe it's over. I am very interested to hear what you all thought about the series. Let me know in the comments down below. I hope you all had fun listening to me rant and rave about the Book of Boba Fett. And if you are enjoying the content, I hope you will consider subscribing, as it lets me know you are all interested in what I have to say. Anyway, I hope you are all having an amazing day, an amazing morning, an amazing night, wherever you are in the world, and I will catch you all in the next one.